History of coffee plant. The coffee plant was discovered in Ethiopia in the 11th century. Back then, the leaves were boiled in water and drink was thought to the medicinal properties. Coffee spread quickly through the Arabian Peninsula. In the middle of the 14th century, coffee cultivation reached Yemen's climate and soil offered the ideal conditions for producing rich coffee harvest. Istanbul was introduced to coffee in 1555. In the Istanbul Palace, a new method of drinking coffee was discovered. Coffee's fame soon spread even further. Coffee soon became an important part of palace food and drink and was very popular in court. Coffee soon spread from the palace to grain mansions and from grain mansions to the homes of the public. The people of Istanbul quickly became obsessed with the drink. Most of the general public were introduced to coffee through the establishment of coffee houses. Coffee houses and coffee culture soon became a main part of Istanbul social culture, thanks to the efforts of traders and travelers who passed through Istanbul. Turkish coffee soon spread to Europe and whole world. Thank you.
The life cycle of coffee plant. Coffee plant can be planted by cutting stem or fertilized seed, but in commercial activity, planting seed method is normally used. The seeds that are used are from the trees of known quality, productivity, and longevity. In 4 to 8 weeks, a leaf will start to appear. The leaves are called plantar ears or soldado in Latin because it is similar to a standing soldier at attention capped by a helmet-like beam. Then the seedlings are transported and transplanted to the nursery. There are two types of environments in the nursery, which are shaded and unshaded nursery ground. Arabica coffee prefers shaded ground which give highest yield under 35 to 65% shade. Growing trees under a shade can discourage weed growth, decrease infection by pathogens, protect the crop from frost, and increase pollinators, which results in high quality berries. Although shaded coffee berries take a longer time to ripen, it tastes better because the long ripening of the coffee contributes to the complex flavors. After being removed from the propagation site, the seedlings are transplanted into containers that are above soil so that the plants have better drainage system. The trees are nurtured to 24 inches height with duration taken about 9 to 18 months. Coffee plants reach maturity at 5 years of being planted. During the development of the coffee plants, the growers will increase the sunlight exposure to the hardening of young plants. Matured coffee trees give a yield of approximately 1 pound of coffee beans.
Kopi luwak refer to the coffee that include part digested coffee cherries eaten and defected by the ASEAN palm civet. Luwaks are generally nocturnal and steal into the coffee plantation at night to feast on coffee cherries. Fruit form a significant portion of luwaks' diet, so they are adept at selecting the ripest, juiciest cherries. These abilities contribute to the final quality of kopi luwak. Circumventing it by caging luwaks and feeding the coffee result in poor quality coffee luwak. It also cruel, unethical, and display a lack of compassion for the animal responsible for the livelihood of the people that do it. Kopi luwak, the coffee cherry remains in the digesting tract of the luwaks for around 24 hours mixed with various other things the luwak has eaten. Raw kopi luwak often contains seeds and nuts as well as coffee beans. During the digestive process, the flesh of cherry is removed leaving the seeds. Inside an inner skin called the pergamino or pigments. The pigment is permeable, allowing acid in the lower stomach to soak the bean, causing the destruction of some of the protein in the coffee and altering the final taste. Once the coffee luwak has been collected animals, coffee break down the piece into individual beans, discarding all the unwanted components and reducing the volume of the coffee luwak by considerable amounts. The bean remain in the dry, papery pigment which need to be removed. Drying. The beans are spread out on dark tarpaulins in the sun for a few days to dry the pigments and make it easier to remove. Pounding. Once the skin pigment have dried sufficiently, the beans are put into a wooden mortar and pounded with a pestle by hand. The beans themselves are harder than wood and remain unaffected by the treatment, while the brittle pigments breaks apart and separates from the beans. Sorting. The resulting kopi luwak beans are hand sorted to remove and they appear damaged or unusual, a tedious and time-consuming process. After sorting, the beans are given a final wash in fresh water, dry for a few days to prevent mold, and stored in hissing sacks. A batch of raw kopi luwak was lost as much as 80% by weight by the time it's ready for roasting. A further 20% of that weight is lost during the roasting process due to moisture loss, so 10 kg of raw kopi luwak may produce as little as 1.5 kg to 2 kg of roasted kopi luwak beans.
Advantage of coffee for health. First, coffee boosts your physical performance. Second, coffee may help you lose weight and burn fat. Third, coffee also lowers the risk of death. Coffee reduces risk of cancer and stroke. Next, Parkinson's disease and type 2 diabetes can be reduced by drinking a coffee. Lastly, coffee brightens your mood, help fight depression, and lower risk of suicide. Disadvantage of coffee for health. Coffee can be a toxic and may affect our body, such as sickness, headache, bad feeling. Second, coffee also can cause insomnia and restlessness because caffeine working out during pregnancy. Do not take more than 1 cup of coffee per day because it may affect the fetus, become controversial, and it may affect the baby because will getting highly sensitive to caffeine. Advantage and disadvantage of coffee environment. The advantage to the environment is use the traditional form of growing coffee, means that coffee will be planted at tropical and subtropical areas, which at the higher elevation. By using the sun cultivate coffee, it will be planted and grow in rows as monoculture of canopy. But bad effect when using it will eliminate the diversity of plants that support insect and animal. The process of coffee bean caused a serious contamination of waterways. It was major source of river pollution, and result give impact to ecology. During manufacture of coffee, it also contains animals of waste produce. The soil and water source play with excess waste often dumped into stream. Thank you.